This is so morbid, I tell you. Not to mention extremely confusing. Something is going on here. I mean, people are having a sympathy for Shiriaki, but I still do not have sympathy for him. I sympathize with his family for having brought forth someone like him. It's just that there's something about all this that makes me think we are even gonna see an even darker side of Shiriaki's personality. The Angry Anime Fan, the Despair Reviewer. This is Boku no Hero chapter 234. As Ridestro taunts Shiriaki for everything else, including having the hypocritical belief of saying good little children don't judge people by their quirk, and the fact that he was raised the same way, just shows just how much of a hypocrite he really is. It mocks Shiriaki for the fact that he cannot touch everything with the rest of the hand. He then sees one hand that was knocked away, and that apparently was Hana-chan's hand, as we see the hands of his relatives that all are all for one identified. And he taught him that from now on, whatever it be anger or sadness, all negative emotion will fade with time. Keep the bodies close to you. And we actually see a little bit past them that once upon a time Shiriaki got in trouble, and the fact that Hana-chan wanted to be a housewife, but apparently got in trouble with her dad. And she was always there for him when he got in trouble. But then his head starts to split as Shiriaki activates his decay, revealing that his power is awakening, and that is not good news. Because that means that if Shiriaki's quirk truly awakens, and he doesn't need his 5 fingers anymore to decay, then nothing can stop him. Granted, he only mildly decays Ridestro's finger, but what I mean is, if he can decay anyone even without all of his fingers, then how the hell do you counter a quirk like that? Granted, it only works on thing else. Either way, Shiriaki has another flashback about his mother, who was a very beautiful woman, who said that the circles around his eyes were getting worse and that he should have medicine. And Ridestro realized that his power was awakening. It's during this time that Shiriaki goes on the offensive and revealing that yes, all that training of trying to trying to make Gigamakia submit to him has made him very faster, almost on to the level of the pro heroes. Shiriaki is now an even bigger threat than before! So Ridestro decides to no longer play around and goes Liberation 80% stress output as he turns into an extremely dark monster and fires a stress bomb that sends Shiriaki flying away, as we see flashbacks of his grandfather and grandmother on his mother's side, obviously. But what makes this all the more morbid is not only the fact that Ridestro gets contacted that Gigamakia is here now, is the fact of what Shiriaki is saying. He is acknowledging that his grandparents were very kind, but that's not it. He remembers everything now. Back then, he wanted them to say was, and we do not hear what that is. I mean, come on, quit giving me these guessing games. Just say what you wanted to say. And this is what I said in the beginning. Shiriaki is confused on what he's seeing. His family was loving, except for his dad. I have a very big feeling his dad was not a supportive person. Because if you notice, we have only seen the sister, the mother, and the grandparents now. We have not seen his father. And judging from what Hana-chan has been saying, the father may not exactly have been the most supportive of a person. Well, having been abandoned by his own mother at a young age, tend to not really do good to someone's psyche. But what I mean is, Shiriaki remembers that they all were kind, but he is also somewhat dismissive of that. He is saying that, why were they kind? And I think I have an idea on what he wanted all of his loved ones to say to him. I think they wanted to say, I hate you. Because Shiriaki did not realize why his grandparents and his family loved him. Because he is the one who killed them. It's not guilt, although his eyes in the end there is very sad. I think Shiriaki is losing the hands of his deceased ones now fighting Ridestro. And I think that is the first sign that Shiriaki is becoming a new person. A dangerous person. Even more dangerous than he already is. I think this is now where she will leave the past behind completely. And truly become All For One's successor. The embodiment of true despair. But either way, it's confirmed that yes, all of his family members really are dead. You know, there was a theory once that almost suggested that Hana-chan may actually have survived and that she was someone we already knew. I liked that theory, but given to the fact that Hana-chan was confirmed to be the older sibling, and the fact that Shiriaki confirmed it's her hand, then no, unfortunately, the entire Shiriaki family is completely dead. I don't even think Eri's rewind quirk can bring them back, although that would have been a sight to behold. But yeah, this is a heavy chapter, don't get me wrong, but I still don't feel sympathy for Shiriaki. If anything, my hatred for him is only growing, because I can see that it almost feels like he is becoming something even more dangerous. Of course, maybe I'm wrong, but either way, Gigamakia has now crashed the party. And strange thing is that this chapter is saying that the conclusion draws near. It doesn't really feel like the conclusion is that near, but oh well. Give me your thoughts if you have any.